We're here with Truman State men's soccer head coach Duke Cochran talking about the 2012 season preview. Coach, we'll just kind of start and go position by position. We'll start with the forwards. What are we looking like up top this year?
Well, we got Andy Chapman back from last year, who was an all-region player, so it'll be nice to have some experience up top near goal. Brandon Vizavon, we call him Vizo. It's a lot easier. He's probably going to put in some good minutes for us up top, especially if we just play with one up top. He's going to be pretty important because Andy's going to need a break. So those two, plus we've got some younger guys, but I think Andy and Brandon are going to put in the time up top for us.
Okay. Keeping on moving down the field, what's the midfield looking like this year?
Well, we got Charlie Backus back from last year. He redshirted last year, coming back. Has some experience from being in the tournament, starting in the tournament. So that'll help us in just your overall possession out of the middle. Because typically if you can control the middle of the field, you can control a game, the pace of it. So Charlie's experience in there will be huge. And then we've got a number of players that are going to help him out. Nick Franta has really kind of solidified our defensive, our holding mid space, which really helps our team just play out of the midfield. And then guys like Nicholas Tolmay, Jake Schreier, who has some experience from last year, Chris Mansfield as well. Those guys come in with some experience that can really help us. And then I think a John Fernandez, who is a redshirt sophomore, will have to give us some minutes in there to help break up some of the plays, kind of a battler, which will help some of our possession players just play possession. And then as we move wide, Tony Dippenbrock is very good out wide, just great pace, starting to figure out how to play a little bit. He combines really well with Andy, as well as Tony Ludicky. We call him Luda, again, tough name. He's really done well. I think last year he got some minutes. This year he'll give us a lot of options in just going at people. He's got great feet, can go by people. And then Austin Hayden and Kyle Minguez are two players. Those four really are going to kind of rotate through that outside position and give us some pace, some strength, speed. Kyle gives us experience. He's very vocal. So we should be pretty flush there.
So it sounds like a lot of depth in the midfield. What's the defense and the goalkeeper scenario looking like this year?
Defensively, it's not a ton of depth, but I'm pretty happy with who we've got back there. Fifth year, Mike Kane, better known as Iceman to some of the guys. Just an outright defender, just a hard defender, hard-nosed tackler. Gets into people, is vocal, takes things very serious. And Matt Langley, who's had a ton of experience, not just in the tournament, but last year dealt with some injuries. But this year, the two of them, their chemistry's been very good in just kind of being the backbone, right behind Franta, which just helps your team play when you know who's behind you. Then Kenny Bader can play inside or outside, most likely to be our right back. On the left side, a redshirt sophomore, or redshirt freshman actually, Matt McMillan. He's a very good player, can get up and down the line. Then a player that's kind of come into the mix, that played midfield for us last year, is Dylan Carter, who, I think he may end up being a super sub for either right or left back for us. Gives us more ability to get forward. He's more attack-minded than defensive-minded, so we're working on his defending. Although his ability to get forward and shoot cross is very good. He's got great feet. And then another guy that's going to probably always be in the mix, Ian Abundis, who's kind of bided his time. He's definitely, his ability has been exponential. He's just getting better and better, and he's very physical. He's left-footed. He can really help us. But in goal, I think Drew Garone, who's going to be a sophomore this year, he's very capable. As we learn to push him harder in training, we'll find out how good he can be in games, because he's a kind of a big game player, loves to play in games. So as he learns how to push himself and we learn how to train him, I think he'll just get better and better. I mean, he's very big, strong, technically good. But Nick Wallner, who's been here now, he's a redshirt junior. He was dealing with a knee injury last year. Looks like that's okay, so he's very mobile now. He's going to be fighting and battling to help push Drew, as well as Tony Lance. Lance is on his third year, redshirt sophomore. We've got depth there, and I think Lance is going to push to travel, and the three of them should be very good for us, pushing each other.
That'll be really great. moving into a new region this year, up into the central region. It's kind of back to what it used to be, but for different sports. So flipping around a little bit. Talk about kind of the schedule just a little bit, how the schedule starts off, kind of a big opening weekend for you guys, and then getting into MIAA play for the first time since '98.
Yeah, we've as a men's soccer program, we've been an independent for so many years, and we've bounced back and forth with regions, which made it a little tough with scheduling and consistency for the guys, knowing who we're playing. But we open with the Quincy Bowl, which is always a very good schedule. Like for the opening games for us, it's always very good because one, Quincy's always up there. Missouri S&T over the years has really gone up. So it'll give us an idea of a regional opponent. It's in region. So really we need to come out of there at worst, with a split. If we can get 2 wins, that would really springboard us into our conference play. And being in a conference, I think the guys now know what they're fighting for, and they can kind of narrow their target to say, let's do very well in conference, which will lead us doing very well in our region. So it'll kind of give guys something to play for, and not kind of just inundate them with, oh God, we have to go down and beat Incarnate Ward or Midwestern just to have a successful season. But opening up with the Quincy and S&T will really kind of let us know where we are in the grand schemes of things as far as region goes. The County region, Quincy did very well, won the GOVC tournament last year. So it'll be a good opening weekend for us to see where we are.
A lot of road games to start the year. Most of September is pretty much spent on the road. What's that going to be with your team? You got a lot of guys back. Is that going to benefit you guys to maybe be on the road a bit early and then have a bunch of home late, or what do you foresee with that?
Well, if we can get out of the gate well and play well on the road, then it really plays into our hands in coming home and trying to see things out for our conference. So although we're still somewhat young, a lot of sophomores that will put in a lot of time for us. They gained a ton of experience last year and have a really bad taste in their mouth from how we played and performed as far as our results go. So I think we understand what we need to do early. So we'll know, I'd say 5-6 games in, we'll kind of know where we're headed and what we have to do at home down the home stretch. And being at home to know that will be nice because, we'll have our fans, our home field, try to solidify it. Our home field is a hard place to come and play, especially in conference, in region. We want to make sure people know it's hard to beat us here, so we need to go on the road and perform.
Absolutely. Well, the Bulldog men's soccer team opens up, like Coach said, at the Quincy Bowl September 1st and 2nd. They'll be home for the first time on Friday, September 8th at 3 p.m. when they take on Westminster College. Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.